Well, it looks like a lucky day. I have Governor Abdullahi Sule back again, and good to see you finally. I was going to say perhaps maybe we should just get a lithium battery and power whatever just went off, but congratulations are in order, Governor Sule. Let's talk about this big 4,000 metric tons daily lithium plant that is making Nasarawa on the world map and Nigeria excited as well.
Thank you very much, Suleiman. I really appreciate it. Sorry about that mix-up. I hear you actually, but I think there was a problem with the network. You couldn't see me, you couldn't hear me. Thank you very much on the congratulations message. You know, that's what we've been getting all day, but we thank God. It was planned and then it's executed and it worked well. So it's congratulations not just to Governor Sule, it's actually congratulations to Mr. President. Congratulations to Nigeria, congratulations to the Minister of Solid Minerals. You know, this is something, a factory actually that started building just about a year ago. And because of the rapid nature of building the factory today, it's been commissioned and actually 4,000 tons a day plant. But the good news is that they have enough material in one location to be able to produce this 4,000 per day for the next 15 years or so. And that is going to be a factory that will be having $500 million annual, you know, and so assuming this is what we are going to do. So I think that's the dream for Nasarawa State, and thank God we've been able to achieve it.
Well, Governor Sule, you know, time was when a lot of people were concerned about the continent producing a lot of cocoa, and at the end of the day, we buy chocolate so expensive outside. Tell us, as an engineer, what this good news tend to give to Nigeria, Africa, and the world.
Suleiman, the good news is the same fear that you had. You have mentioned about cocoa. You forgot actually it's the same problem we're having with crude oil. You know, we do the exploration here, we produce the oil here, we produce the crude oil here, we take it out, refine it, and then return it back to Nigeria as finished product, you know, which is really not the way it's supposed to be. That is the whole idea that we went in. So, as you know, all minerals are under the list, they are under the federal government. When we came in, the reason why I keep congratulating the present administration as well as the Minister of Solid Minerals is the fact that they came up with the license, they gave the licenses without even the knowledge of the state. But then we, the state, came up with our own executive order to say that whoever has a license and is going to do something, we don't want you to be taking the minerals in raw form out of Nasarawa State. Please, we want you to build a factory. We want you to be able to build something, you know, and that's exactly what they did. So within this short period, you know, because they saw the amount of deposit there, they didn't want to joke around with it. So we worked together under a arrangement. You know, we provided part of the land, we provided other things, security there and everything, and then now they build the factory. As I'm talking to you, there are over 1,000 Nasarawa State indigenes who are working right now at this particular site. You know, so for me, that's just what this is all about. We have done the EIA together. It has out well. We have done everything actually that is supposed to be done. So today, after seeing him, one of the important things that happened to us is that the biggest company buying lithium concentrate, which is the finished product of this particular facility, so the biggest buyer of that from China, in fact, visited Nigeria purely to be part of this occasion. And so he was able to meet with Mr. President this afternoon after the commissioning, and I think Mr. President was very happy to receive him. You know, so those are the kinds of things that we have done. And then because of his interest in Nasarawa State, he commitment immediately that they are going to invest additional $200 million US, you know, in Nasarawa State, you know, in the next 2 years. So this is what is happening. Thank you.
Well, let's talk more about this because this is coming 6 years after. I recall then in 2018, a certain Smith Trade company talked about this big discovery of 15,000 tons of commercial lithium in Nigeria. And specifically, they talked about Nasarawa State. And you say this would take us for about 15 years. Is that part of talking about the environment? How are we looking to preserving the environment? Because some of the communities just might be worried and think that this might also mean some bad news for them as we rejoice.
You are perfectly right. And it's one of the things that we went in together. Before they started doing it, they have done what we call the EIA, the Environmental Impact Analysis. And one of the reasons why we said they should do that is because they came up with, all right, now that we are going to start this operation, what is going to be the reclamation of the area where we are doing this? Where is the water going to come from? So they created a map of their own. So in fact, they are not showing the complete pictures. They are just showing the belt conveyors. If they are showing you the picture of the whole side, you will see, where they have already gathered a dam that they set up. That dam, the water from that dam is not going to be allowed to flow back into the communities. That water is going to be used there. Secondly, the dust that is going to come from that side will be used to be re-injected into some of the areas where they are doing some drilling operations right now. And a good example is one that happened today, between yesterday and today, really. The road between Kefi and Nasarawa is a very, very bad road with a lot of potholes. So we decided, using the residue from the same material, from the same lithium, we had taken it and filled up the whole place. It used to take you about 1.5 hours from Kefi, to go to Nasarawa because of the bad road. Today, Senate President represented the President, really. We all travel in less than 45 minutes, from Kefi there, because they use the same material to fill up this. So, and that is what is going to be used, to reclaim part of the land that is being taken. So that's the idea of doing that. There will be no water usage, going back into the communities, because that's where part of the environmental contamination comes from. And that's the reason why it's designed that way.
Well, I'm quite sure that if you weren't sitting there as governor, you would have been attending the OTC, which is one of the things that has actually opened the eyes of the world towards Nigeria. I understand oil was discovered in your state, precisely the Obi, Agwatashi, and Aloshi parts of the state. And it was interesting as coal was covering oil and gas. That's a rare sight. What does it mean to the state, the region, and Nigeria, especially with the recent discovery of oil in other parts of northern Nigeria?
The discovery of oil in northern Nigeria is a good thing, actually, for Nigeria as a whole. Not for northern part of Nigeria, but for Nigeria as a whole. And like you rightly mentioned, if I was here because of this minerals thing, I will have been in Houston, because new technologies are coming up. The three wells that are being drilled in northern part of Nigeria, the Kolmani, the Ebeni A in Nasarawa State, Kolmani in Gombe, and then the Lake Chad, are actually going to be an integrated field development systems. So new technologies are going to be developed, for those kind of activities, because every day that's what it is. And that's what OTC is all about. OTC is about displaying of new technologies so that the IOCs will come and see. Sometimes the IOCs come up with the ideas, and the big companies, the Slumber, Drill Equip, the Baker Hugh, and the rest of that, they all come up with they build the technologies and bring to them. As you know, Houston is a place I have lived for most of my career, and then that's the field that I have been. So it will have been nice to be there, to be part of this. But believe me, the future is not in oil anymore, because fossil oil is beginning to dissipate and go around. So the future is in rare metals, especially lithium. And we are so lucky that in Nasarawa State now, the site that we just commissioned today is one of the smallest deposits that we are saying 15 years. There is another site where the solid minerals minister, came last year and did the groundbreaking where they are going to build an 18,000 metric tons per day, not 4,000 like the one today. And then just as we thought that was the best, now we discovered again another deposit in another local government that is even bigger now than where this 18,000 metric tons will do. So really the future is there. And it's not only Nasarawa, there are other states where they are having more and more discoveries, of different minerals, especially the rare metals. Rare metals are now the hot cake. The defense ministries are looking for it. Pentagon is very interested in finding out what is happening with rare metals. And that's a way to go. But the oil that you talk about, it will help Nigeria to now be another Saudi Arabia where we are not just producing, from the Niger Delta, and so no, we are now producing also in other parts of the country. That's the idea.
Let's see if we can close this. And now you just reminded us of Texas. You know the road networks better than a lot of people, how you can travel from Houston to Austin and even get to Dallas by road. So now Nasarawa is so close to Abuja. And so what's the conversation with your friend, the minister, Dave Umahi, on fixing those roads to making sure that what we're trying to delve into turns out good and fast?
Well, he actually was able to, he told us that the contract has been given, has already been awarded. So they awarded the contract from Abaji coming all the way to Kefi, but I think they are in the process of mobilizing them. That's the idea. So it is not like the contract has not been awarded yet. It has been awarded. But you see, we had an event, we had people there, and we had a situation where the road was getting very, very bad. And that's why we took it upon ourselves, really to help the minister to be able to go ahead and do all this palliative work. So the palliative work is going to work temporarily, maybe another 1 month, 2 months, it will go back to its former state, because we didn't do any special, grinding and digging and anything before filling it up. We just fill up the potholes all over the place. So, and I think that's where it is. But yes, you mentioned that's my background. If there is any city I know Houston, I know Abuja, to be honest with you. So that's a place I lived and worked, and it's a place that I admire.
Well, Governor Sule, it's been a day, and I'd like to say thank you for your time, and we do hope that the conversations next will be live in the studios here with you so that we can expand this conversation. Many thanks for speaking with us on Newsnight.